You are watching Morning Rush, and thank you so much for making us your premium choice for getting your day started in the right mood. And of course, we're headed towards the weekend, and what better way to get into the weekend than to dance into it? Now, have you ever thought or considered going for actual classes, like actual lessons on how to dance, or do you just assume because, you know, it's you can dance? Like, have you? Have you? Let us know. Would you actually consider, maybe even as like a group session with your friends or with your family, with your kids, would you actually consider going for dance lessons? And do you think it would be the experience you'd enjoy? The platforms to utilize are the Zim Papers TV Network Facebook page, or at ZTN Prime on Twitter and at ZTN Prime on Instagram. Now, my guest today has been dancing since she was a child, you know, part of a family of 6. It's the most natural thing in the world to her. Of course, she has gone to school for it and perfected it but it's like she can do it in her sleep. And now she's decided that she will be teaching it to others as well. She's been teaching for, I think, for the past 8 years now, if I'm not mistaken. Debbie Fleming, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, good morning, Candace. Great to be here. Excited.
Debbie, you've been teaching dance for ages. Like I have left feet and left feet and other left feet. I can't even consider. How do you start to teach?
Do you know, I think that it's also the energy that you put into it. You have to go slowly.
Right.
Because you do get some people who really struggle with knowing which is their left foot and which is their right foot. There have been a couple, but do you know, if you just keep going at it and it's repeat, the same like when you're at school.
Right.
You learn your ABCs, you've got to repeat until it gets stuck in your head. The same thing happens with dance.
Right.
So we take our time, a lot of patience. It's just patience. You're getting better. That's looking good. Yes, so, you know, we always want to boost everybody with their confidence with dance. So that's the best way to go about it. It's just repeat, and keep going. Don't give up.
Now, you've been dancing since you were a child.
Yeah.
What were some of the lessons that you learned at that very age that you think have helped you actually through life?
I think, you know, I started with ballet. I had such a passion for ballet. I really wanted to do ballet, and I started actually late. I started when I was 10.
Right.
So for
That's late?
That is late.
Oh.
Most kids start between the ages of 3 and 5.
Oh.
So I was a very late starter, having come from a very, very big family, and my parents, I was the last born. My parents didn't have money to send me to ballet.
Right.
Then my next sibling up from me was 7 years older than me. He'd just written his M levels, my brother. So I was 10 years old, and I had this passion, and they thought, oh wow, all of the others, my siblings, had got away and got jobs now. And then I was the spoilt one and ended up going very, very luckily going off to ballet class with Judy Bowles, who was here at that time. She's still teaching in the UK.
Right.
And amazingly, she's in like her 80s now, I think. And she'll actually be coming out to Zimbabwe quite soon. So she pops in every now and then. It's great to see my former teacher.
Right.
So wonderful.
What are your favorite moments of teaching?
Oh, favorite moments when somebody gets it right.
Right.
When somebody just, even if it's a child who has problems with dyslexia, you know, working both sides, because when you're dancing, you're working both sides of your brain.
Right.
What you do on one side, you do on the other side.
Okay.
And it's really cool for children or people who have dyslexia problems, because you are working both sides, which actually helps your brain to accommodate both sides of your body and both sides of your brain. So I find that so good. It is such a good way. So when we've got a child who comes in and they've had trouble at school, you know, it's a really good thing when you've been working with this child and boom, they might not be the best dancer,
Right.
but they get something right after struggling for so long. The praise is just brilliant. You know, when you see that child's face light up, good girl, you've done a good boy, you've done that right.
And they get so excited about it.
It's wonderful. I love it.
Oh, I can imagine that. Now, Debbie, you start with kids from as young as 3, 4, 5. I can barely concentrate now. How do you get them to focus?
Well, yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think for every child is like we are all different. So, you know, I think for them, it's a case of getting their minds active, getting them, this is what you must do, this is how you must do it, this is going to make you the best ballerina in the world.
Right.
For a girl, best dancer for the boys, because I do have boys as well.
Right.
It's really cool. So you want them to be focused on what's coming up. You want to make it fun. And obviously, if the more fun it is, then obviously the more concentration they have to actually getting to where they want to go. I find that if they start too young, though, they tend to lose a little bit of interest sometimes if they're not that focused. So I always say to the parents, you know what? I started very late in life. What I first did was that I had ballet records, because in those days we didn't have things like YouTube and things to inspire us.
Right.
So it was a case of listening to ballet records, Coppelia, Swan Lake, all of those, Sleeping Beauty. We had all those records. And just the sound of the orchestration of the music inspired me before I actually started dancing. So I always say to the parents, you know what, don't start them so young. If they have a passion, they will stick with that passion. I did. And I said, rather let them dance at home, explore what they think they can do. And of course, you've got YouTube now to help encourage children. There's so many things on YouTube, so many ballets and stuff done on YouTube that children have access to that I didn't have when I was a child. I say to the parents, let them watch this. Let them dance at home first. Let them really get a passion. Then by the time they're about 4 or 5, they start to concentrate a bit better, and they know their way forward.
Debbie, very quickly, because unfortunately we are out of time.
Sure.
Tell us about the events that you put on and the next one we can possibly come and watch.
Wonderful, wonderful. Dance Trust of Zimbabwe, we are under their umbrella, a lot of us. So we are putting on a show at both Dance Trust Zimbabwe grounds, which is in Belgravia, plus also Reps Theatre, which is in Belgravia. There'll be Starlight Dancing, which is coming up towards the end of September, running from about roughly the 28th of September through till the 2nd of October. Those are for our senior students, children and adults who are from the ages of 12 and up.
Right.
Then we also have our wonderful Stars of Tomorrow. It's so good to be back on stage. We are so excited. So our Stars of Tomorrow is for the babies, from your youngsters all the way through to 16 years old. That will be done at Reps Theatre, and that's in the first week of November. The kids are so super excited to do this.
I can imagine.
Getting back on stage after 2 years of COVID, we're like, yes!
Debbie, we hope that we will be able to be part of that experience with you. But
You
also,
should
if a
do.
parent is considering signing their kids up for dance lessons, where do they find you?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I am on Facebook, of course, Debbie Fleming Dance. Otherwise, if they give a call to the Dance Trust of Zimbabwe, National Ballet, they have got a list of all sorts of teachers. I mean, there's everybody on there.
Right.
We've got acrobatic dancers, we've got gymnastics, we've got everybody who's on there. So, you know, the choice is up to them. And it's really wonderful. So sometimes I say, you know what, if this is what you're looking for, go to this teacher, and I'll tell them where to go as well, which is awesome, because I don't do gymnastics, I do ballet and jazz, modern dance. And it's
Wonderful.
really fun. So we have a lot of fun.
Wonderful. Debbie, thank you so much for
It's a
joining us and
pleasure.
sitting
Thank you
down
for having
and
me.
bringing all this energy to
I
me.
love it.
This is what one of the classes may actually look like if you're considering signing your kids up for dance lessons with Debbie.